Hello, book lovers, and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins, and today I'm talking to author Moeez Hatanian. Moeez is the author of two fantasy novels, Echoes for Celia and The Rise of the Amiga Empress. Hello, Moeez. Welcome, and thank you for coming to talk to me on Book Talk Radio Club.
Hello, Claire. Thanks for having me on your radio talk. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Echoes for Celia is a mixture of romance and fantasy. Would you like to give us a brief idea of the story, please?
Yeah, the Echoes for Celia is both fantasy and romance, but the main storyline is based on what they call the factual person, and it's about the young woman who survives the isolation and the loneliness in her life, but grows up becoming someone unique and someone special around the people who she lives with. And I thought I start the story writing about some different person rather than just normal human being who's what they call it, they have everything and everything is ready for them. So that's why I thought I started the story with somebody, even though that she's a special, what they call it, she has what they call it, some things that she has to deal with, and happen to be a woman.
Your heroine Celia is hidden away from the world because she's different and strange. So what is the strangeness and why is she different and from what?
Celia is one of the girls that she born, and I started the story making it as a what is it, pre-Atlantic fantasy novel.
Okay.
And she born with the ancient DNA without knowing what it is with her.
Right.
And she has a unique powers and the unique echoes that she hears, but she doesn't know where they're coming from and what they mean.
That sounds fascinating.
Yeah, she doesn't know about them, but she knows that she's different, yet she knows that she's not what they call the crazy. It's just what they call the echoes that comes from unknown origin from the what they call the universe or whatever.
Wow. So she's hidden away from the world. So who hides her?
This part I try to make it special, and the person who hides her is an overprotective, careless father, which tried to make his personality like some ex-leaders at the time that I was writing. So he's a father USA Senate. Giving you what you call the spoiler or whatever. So he's the one that is hiding away from the phone, because Celia is a prodigy with an insane amount of IQ.
So what kind of woman is Celia? What is her character like?
She's in a way, because she lived in isolation, she's kind of naive, but because she has had some protection in her life, she grew up being confident at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But equally, although her family is rich, wealthy, she's overconfident, and she doesn't even care about wealth or what they call it, the villas or whatever. But she lets people think that she's a daddy's girl and she wants what she wants, and she plays around with what they call the daddy's bodyguards and whatever.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing keeping her sane is Elijah and his gentleness. Who is Elijah and what is he to her?
Elijah is an older guy that is a bodyguard of Celia, FBI agent. And even though Celia is almost, what is it, like about not half her age, but younger than her, she falls in love and she finds comfort in him and becomes like a couple.
Right.
So Elijah generally is the first bodyguard protector of the Celia. Although there are surprises in the book that I'm not going to spoil it, but Celia is not the person that needs protection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. She has a destiny and it calls to her. Can you tell us what her destiny is, or is that going to give away too much?
No, as I mentioned, I wrote a book thinking about what is it, the pre-Atlantis story, and the story is about what will happen if we are not the first human being on Earth.
Right.
So that was my first inspiration. I wrote it, and the destiny is being that she has been one of the only families that managed to survive all the thousands of years with the ancient DNA in her, and her destiny is supposed to be help the humanity to grow with what we call the knowledge and what we call the IQ, and equally help and share her power with others around her. So that type of person that's supposed to become.
Right.
But unfortunately everything changed and she's the only one that left on Earth with the same quality that they would call the aliens, ancients intended to help humanity.
It sounds an amazing book. So you wrote Echoes for Celia and published it in October 2020. What drew you to writing in the fantasy supernatural genre? Was there a particular book or author that inspired you?
I wanted to write for many years, but the main thing that inspired me in 2020 when I was listening to Jenna Morris's what is it, programs, YouTubes and whatever.
Yeah.
And I was listening to her life story, not going to details or whatever, and also the fact that I have a background in the science, cosmology, and astronomy, not sounding vain or whatever. And I thought to myself, well, if she can, with all the difficulty and all the things that girl has gone through, and she is a very good writer, if she can do it, although I'm not the same, but I have had different things in my life, I should be able to do it.
Absolutely.
So I don't, after 20 years, I'm sitting home, I'm not doing anything, start writing.
Good for you, absolutely. Let's go on and talk about the rise of the Amiga Empress, which is book 2 in the series. This novel also features Celia, but she has a twin sister, Evelyn. Does Evelyn have the same powers as Celia?
They both are equal, but one thing I think not many people might recognize, the Evelyn is her twin sister start coming on the first book, on the latter part of the first book.
Right.
And she's the one who gives all the information to Celia, who she is, who she's supposed to become, and whatever. And but with just end to Celia, she wasn't. She thought that the Evelyn never existed, and that was due to her overprotective father. So it's like it's not just a romance; it's like a suspense drama.
What is the Amiga Order, and who is the Luciada?
Yeah, Omega Order is like a rule book, if that makes sense. I didn't want to make the book sound religious or anything, but Omega is the piece of asteroid rock that came from another plane, another universe or whatever, and contains all the proteins that can create all forms of life, from carbon-based, silicon-based, water-based, or whatever. And then people who created the DNA inside the Celias ancestors' families, they are highly advanced beings. So they call them type 6 civilization, all-knowing, godlike being. So they are supposed to protect that rock so it doesn't fall in the wrong hand. And no other the highly advanced civilization can steal it, and they use them against other beings as like a dictator.
Okay.
Universal dictators, if you want to put it that way.
Right. So can you give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a brief synopsis of the story, then, of the rise of the Amiga Empress? Just a little idea.
On the first book, I started writing from romance and suspense, but on the second book, I thought I started to make it epic adventure, and go to the space opera, like a dramatic effect, instead of going to the cyborgs and everything else, like Jenna Morrissey mentioned. But in the second book, I tried to make it the rock, Omega rock, try to make it protective, and try to show that the girls that are created, although they are heroes like a supergirls born on Earth, they are also going to protect not only humanity, but the space around them, and they have to protect themselves from the evil version of themselves, which is the guys.
Okay.
Alpha twins.
So this will be a series. How many books do you intend writing in the series?
I intentionally wanted to write in 3 books, but because I wrote it in novella, not the big 85,000 I'm hoping to finish in 4.
Okay.
Maximum of 5, but hopefully I'm trying to finish it in the 4 series.
Can they be enjoyed as standalones, or do people have to read them in the right order?
If you're not a person who likes romance and you just want like the epic adventure, you can carry on from a series 2, and it will give you outline of what it is.
That's a clever idea.
Yeah, no, it is. I make sure that you are not going to left out of what is what.
Okay.
Without giving us spoilers. But if you want to find out, for example, what happened, who died or who didn't die, or how the family started, or exactly where they exactly in detail they get the power from, and A, B, C, D. And 2 books are good. But what I have done, I put the price of them of the 2 books as 1 book.
Good idea. Good idea.
So even if you buy both of them together or separately, they are priced as as if you're buying one book. So I try to do that.
Let's talk a bit about you, Moeez Hatanian, author. You've always loved to write, whether it was penning poems, songs, or short stories. You've always had a passion for words. For many years, writing was only a hobby. Who or what suggested it could be more for you?
That was my first true love over 20 years ago.
Oh.
Her name was Charlene, and she said to me, "You write a lot." I used to write either poem or songs, or the mini biography, made up biography of myself, if you want to put it that way. 1 page a day or 1.5 page a day. And she used to turn and say, if only you put your writing in right places, you would be someone one day.
Oh.
And before she passed away, she said, I hope one day you find out.
Oh, that's lovely. You pride yourself on your mindset of, if you can dream it, you can achieve it. I couldn't agree more. The process of writing and publishing your first novel made you believe all the more in the power of dreams and what can happen when you're not afraid to reach for them. Moeez, what advice would you give to someone who is hesitant about writing and publishing a book?
Please go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
If I can do it and I survive I'm not going off the subject, but I'm just saying, if I can do it, and I'm a person who survived the stroke at the age of 1, and everybody said to me, you can never become this, you can never become that, and I proved them wrong. If I can do it, you can definitely do it.
Oh, that's brilliant. You know what? When I wrote I wrote 2 books as well back in 2015, 2016. And from years and years of being told I wasn't going to amount to much, I had such doubts about doing it and publishing them. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway. So what? And so I did. So I exactly know where you're coming from.
I was in New Zealand. I went for a skydiving, and the guy used to say, if this guy is partially disabled, can do 2 skydiving in 1 week, you guys should pay your money and go skydiving. And nobody said anything. They just went.
Well, I haven't tried skydiving. I don't think I'm going to do that anyway.
No, but I mean, it's just the example. I mean, he used to say that.
I know. You already have some great reviews for Echoes for Celia, including Echoes for Celia is a masterpiece that I found to be outstandingly interesting. And this was an enjoyable read with great detail and surprise twists. I can't wait to read the next book in this series. Also, Echoes for Celia, born by Moeez Hatanian, is a great novel. Highly imaginative, interesting, insightful, captivating, inspirational, and heartwarming. Well, that's praise indeed, Moeez. So what inspires you to continue writing, the reviews or the sales?
Not the sales. One thing I promised myself when I start writing a book, I said to myself, I'm not looking for fame, and I'm not looking for the wealth or anything. The enjoyment of it, and when I received the award from Literary Titan and said on the bottom of the award, not the award itself, and when he said on the bottom of the award, this book has been written with the best words used and excellent imagination, that inspired me to do even more than what I wanted, because I wasn't even expected to win any award, never mind the silver award or gold award
Oh, that's brilliant. Well done, you. Lastly, where can Book Talk Radio Club listeners purchase Echoes for Celia and the Rise of the Amiga Empress?
At the moment, the Rise of the Omega Emperor is available in all the platforms, all the major platforms, and the Echoes for Celia audiobooks available in every platform going, but both of them equally available on Amazon as well, on the ebook as well. So, but the audiobook of the Echo for Celia is available on everywhere. Just I haven't put the ebook of Echo for Celia on every platform at the moment because I'm waiting for new cover to come.
Okay. Well, thank you, Moeez. That was so interesting. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club when you publish your next book. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, and thank you, everyone, for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you very much, Moeez.
Thank you very much.